this episode of Playlog, we're talking about some studio closures, the worst mechanic in gaming, and what games you should play if you have a Playdate. Don't incriminate yourself, okay?
Okay. I'm at 1, 2, 3.
Go ahead.
Do you want me to record on my end? My address is 123 Fake Street in Toronto. It's not. Oh, you froze. Did you freeze?
No, I was just being a bitch.
Oh.
Hey,
God, you got
everybody.
me. I was like, shit.
Welcome to Playlog Podcast. It's time the podcast we talk all things indie gaming. Ah, shit. But of course, I can't talk indie games alone because that's boring. So alongside me, I've got the first full episode guest, the man that told me to kick Topher to the curb, the trivia master himself, the one and only Jacob McCourt. What is poppin', King? How you doing?
Bye, Topher. This is my show now. Actually, Topher seems lovely. He's great.
Topher's amazing.
The show's great.
Topher's incredible.
Yeah.
What I want to do, and this is, I need Topher to move to the US so it's so much more feasible. Topher's in Belgium. So like when Topher's typically here, I'm recording at like 2, Topher's recording at like 6, 7 o'clock, give or take.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So like in the middle of the day here, everyone else is at work doing, you know, real adult jobs when I'm sitting at home playing video games. Like it's a different case. So
a real
like,
adult job.
Yeah,
Go on.
Well, a real adult, you know, we're doing the damn thing. Maybe a little more money would be nice, but yeah, we'll figure it out. Yeah, like I'll be like, hey, if you wanted to bring a guest on, I might have to record a separate segment and then splice it in so it's there with Topher. But I was like, Topher, you let me know what you want to do. Do you want to sit there and listen? Do you like, but then it was a timeline thing because right now Topher's probably fast asleep because today we're talking about this beautiful little baby right here, the Playdate. Those little guys are going to talk all about them, but not yet. We're not there yet. But for the people who may not know, Mr. Jacob McCourt, who the hell are you?
I'm just a guy. Thanks for having me.
Okay, I expected more from that, but okay, you're just a guy.
Yeah. No, I'm a weird content guy. I'm a little content gremlin. I make mostly trivia game content these days, where I have a show called Video Game Trivia, where I go to a local bar, go to PAXs, and ask people questions menacingly about video games. But beyond that, I host some other shows, Crossplay Converstaions with Luke Lewis and Joseph Hooper, and then a long-standing, almost 8-year video game book club podcast called the Left Behind Game Club. I've been doing the damn thing for a long time, and I'm tired, but I'm here.
Aren't we all? Hell yeah, dude. Love Crossplay Conversations. I know Left Behind you just came back from like podcast burnout break. You're like, I'm taking a break, I'm chilling. And you guys just had your first 3-man back Crossplay conversation the other day, which was great.
And we're recording another one today. It was, I don't know how you feel, Danny, and I don't mean this to be therapy for content creators.
We're here for it.
I was really burnt out with content, and I was truly like, hey, am I going to do this anymore? Because I'm 35, I'm old, I've been doing content for real, like full-time, every other week at the minimum for 8 years. Yep. And I'm just like, could I do other things with this time? Even just like take a walk, touch some grass, I don't know. But just came back and said, I'm just going to do what I want now. And this show is something I want. So I'm going to take this podcast from you. Just wait.
Wait.
Yep.
But I like this one.
Yeah, no, this is mine now.
No, I want this one.
No, I'm the captain now.
No.
I need 5 podcasts. Sorry.
If you want to work some contract where we're like under like an umbrella, like Jacob McCourt MCN type deal,
I mean, my first 2 letters of my last name are MC, so.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know, it's meant to be.
You know what? We'll talk after the show. We'll get that.
It's the McNort, the MCN, the McNort.
The McNort.
I don't know. Thanks for having me, Danny.
Of course. Thanks, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. No, with the burnout thing, I think literally this morning I had a conversation with a couple of friends. We have like a weekly get together. What are our goals? What are we doing? What's like this plan for this weekend? And I've been saying I'm in this habit of like when I'm out and about doing something, I'm like, oh shit, I could do X, Y, Z, da da da. And then when I sit down to do it, I'm like, now's not a good time. And I'll procrastinate, dick around, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I have to post this video in 2 days. Then I scramble to get it done. And like I want to be in a routine where I'm like, I said burned out, but I don't think burned out's where I'm at. But I think close to it. I think it's a lot to do, but also like this shit's fun. So, but basically the day this is going out, I'm heading to a cabin in the Poconos to hang out with the boys for the weekend. So
hell yeah.
Maybe that's vacation time to be like, no content, post what I can on TikTok, what's already recorded and edited, and don't talk to anybody.
Hell yeah. Also, you know, life, everything does not have to be content. If you're not doing it like full time as a creator, not your whole life needs to be content.
That doesn't sound
Just
right.
a thought. No,
I don't know about that. I think
Okay.
everything does. You think I just play some indie game now and not talk about it on a show? That doesn't make sense.
Nah, I guess everything is content.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Froze. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I was trying to get you for people that don't. Did you put that in where like you froze in the recording or no? You didn't.
Oh, I'm going to. Yeah, I record the whole thing. Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. I always do the intro second where I'm like, on this episode of Playlog, blah 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 blah, because I butcher it in front of a guest. I never get it right. So I'll just do it afterwards, and then when it's perfect, splice it in intro, and then just the episode. So
oh man,
it.
It's gonna be a good show today.
It's going to be a great show. It's going to be a great show. Now, typically, this is the part. Now, we did a lot of talking here. That's typically the part where I break the ice. Where remember, you can write into the show and ask us your questions about indie games, content creation, life, and etc. Just like nobody did this week. Nobody wrote in. I have no new prompts. Moving on. So, get him, Jacob. Tell him.
If you like this program, please write in to Danny.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm about to
You're
just
welcome.
leave them in the corner. They were like, but I wrote in. No, you didn't. I don't check the doc anymore. You guys left me. You abandoned me. But with no writing questions, I guess we can just right into the quick indie news. Oh, man. Should I start with the sad ones? What do you think?
Yeah,
You better get this out the way?
I'm sorry, we have to do it.
Do you think I lump them together? Do you think we do one or the other? What are you thinking here?
Put them both together. Hey, 2 companies closed down, and that sucks.
They sure did. Galvanic Studios and Pieces Interactive shut down this week. Let's start with Wizard with a Gun Studio, Galvanic. This is on PC Gamer from Andy Chalk. I always butcher these paragraphs, so I'm going to skip it for a little bit. Let me see. Despite the promising start of Wizard with a Gun, sales are not strong enough to sustain our studio. Galvanic Games founder and president Patrick Morgan wrote on LinkedIn, quote, "This last year has been particularly tough for games. While we had numerous encouraging conversations at DICE and GDC, the process of signing new projects, even in a good year, takes longer than the runway that we had left." End quote. Morgan said, I don't know, I'm not good at this end quote thing, but I'm going to just keep it on the way I think.
You're doing great.
Thank you. Oh, I'm so confident now. Morgan said, quote, he's incredibly proud of Wizard with a Gun and that working with publishing developer Devolver Digital was a dream come true, but he had that knowing we accomplished all the things that we set out to do when we founded Galvanic is bittersweet because despite so much that went right, the studio is gone anyway. And then along with closed studios, Embracer Studios shuts down Alone in the Dark developer Pieces Interactive. This is from Ryan Dinsdale over at IGN. A statement on the developer's website lists a 2007 to 2024 lifespan of Pieces Interactive alongside the message, "Thanks for playing with us." It also offers a short history of the studio before a dedicated paragraph commenting on its acquisition by Embracer Group, which in last year has shut down developers Free Radical Design, Onama. I don't know if I've ever said that one right. Onama sounds right.
You got it.
I like it. Onama and Volition Games amid layoffs affecting more than 1,000 employees. In 2017, Peace Interactive were acquired by Embracer Group after working with the expansions of Titan Quest Ragnarok, and the third expansion for Titan Quest Atlantis. That's a lot of Titan Quest. The post said, "Our last release was the reimagining of Alone in the Dark." So, of course, the studio got Embracered, but before we get to the Embracer slander here, this sucks. Me and Connor loved Wizard with a Gun. We did some co-op on stream. I know they recently announced their 4-player co-op coming to the game. And then I think I saw Mike Towndrow tweet about it. And the first thing I saw was gut-wrenching and then read the cyberpunk style like paragraph BNG. And I'm like, fuck, man. That sucks. I hate to see it.
We're in a really tough climate with games right now.
Yeah.
I mean, you could argue that a lot of the moves that were made in games, maybe like for the last 5 years, were really driven by the fact that that debt was really cheap. So I'm the guy who's gonna like get all economic on you that a lot of this was, what I like to call a zero interest rate phenomena, where people did shit at higher risk because, what's the worst case scenario? They need cash, so they borrow money. It's basically free, right? So I think maybe that's what happened with the first dev. That Devolver took a chance on their game and it didn't quite hit sales expectations. The money has sort of started to dry up around game publishing, so they couldn't sign a new project and ran out of runway, and that's it. Wizard with a Gun maybe didn't hit sales expectations as well. The Embracer shit is just that plus. I think that team made a lot of missteps. I don't know how to say that in a way that's not a lot of dumb calls. They tried to bring a bunch of assets together so they could get Saudi money and just, sit off the interest and just live their lives that way. I don't know, man. This shit makes me sad.
Yeah.
We have more layoffs in gaming this year than we did all of last year, and I don't think it's going to stop, unfortunately.
No. So many. I think in this being episode 14 or something like that, yeah. I think maybe 5 or 6 the week we've covered a studio closing, whether that be, the Microsoft closures a couple weeks ago. I'm trying to think, there was another, what was it? The Kerbal Space Program, and then the Ollie teams getting shut down. Yep. Going back through 2023, I'm sure someone has a comprehensive list and there's some big red number of how many layoffs, but it's way too fucking many, man.
Yeah, I think this story, one of the stories actually had a number.
Okay.
Yeah, it's right here. In February, we took a deep dive. This is the Wizard with a Gun article. In February, it was 16,000 layoffs through 2023, and 2024 is worse. Behavior Interactive layoffs, Sumo Group, Avalanche, Intercept, Phoenix Labs, Square Enix, Arcane Austin, like the list goes on. And I don't know how you feel, but the Tango one especially really hurt.
Yeah,
in a way that I'm an Xbox fan and have been for a long time, but that's one that I can't get over.
Yeah, Tango is a weird one for me because those games have never not really resonated with me until Hi-Fi Rush. Mm-hmm. So feeling like the new boy in the block, now I'm like a fan of Tango, to then see them close. I'm like, well, shit. I feel like I just got in the door, because even with them, it was never my thing. Arcane Austin did Prey. I always forget what else Tango worked on, but their catalog wasn't particularly for me, but that never makes me want to be like, well, I didn't like their game, so see ya, so long. Those are people that are making their games. And even if this happened, before Hi-Fi Rush, there was a confident and capable team over there that made something that I would like in Hi-Fi Rush. So even if that was the mindset, it's just, I don't know. I see people almost desensitized to it at this point. Oh, there goes another one. Well, it's so volatile, and I feel so afraid watching all of my dev friends on Twitter tweet out and we're making our new game. I'm like, please get what you need. Please. I want to see you succeed. I want to see you live.
So I think the crazy part is Devolver, technically in my mind, I don't really consider them indie because they are a publicly traded company.
Yeah.
So what is indie? Do we have time?
You know what? We could reorganize the episode.
No,
we're not talking about the Playdates.
Honestly, Zalavi Nelson went on Indie Council a while ago, and I think his definition of indie was it's that you fundamentally have something at risk depending on the move that you make. I'm paraphrasing, but fundamentally you have something at risk when you put a project out there for your studio and your livelihood, and that is indie. Yeah. So it's not really a size of budget, a size of team. Are you with a public company? Are you under an umbrella? Mm-hmm. It's fundamentally, do you have something at risk? And I think what we've learned here is that both Galvanic Games and Pieces had something at risk, and they're now no longer with us.
Yeah. Fucking sucks. This sucks a lot. But I'm hoping everybody on the teams, both over at Galvanic and Pieces, find their next job that is a lifelong commitment, that they can stick there, and they have a boss company overhead that has got their back through thick and thin. Please and thank you. Support devs. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Maybe one that's a little less sad, but we can still debate on it. Upcoming horror game Still Wakes the Deep fixes the worst feature in modern gaming. Now I want to stop at this. Maybe I shouldn't stop at the headline, but I'm going to say this whole thing I think is dumb. I know Final Fantasy VII Rebirth made everybody all pissy and cry and, oh my goodness, I can't believe they put this in my game. Get over it. It's not a big deal. Anyway, Still Wakes the Deep, an upcoming... Oh, sorry. This is on PC Games by... Oh, goodness.
Izzy van der Velde.
You killed it. I had to oh, God. I was going to say Izzy van der Velde. Thank God. I got the Canada man here. He fixes all my words.
Douze dixième.
Douze dixième. We're not there yet.
Okay.
Still Wakes the Deep, an upcoming indie survival horror game, will be fixing one of the most annoying features plaguing modern video games. Recently, the Resident Evil 4 remake sparked discussion around the prevalence of yellow paint in video games. As a journalist who both reviews and guides games, this is a little bit slow, so I read about the prana, forgive me. Still Wakes the Deep is launching tomorrow, Tuesday, June 18th, which is 2 days ago as of this episode coming coming out. But the developers have already have their eyes set on post-launch updates. This unnamed update doesn't have a release date of its own just yet, but it will add a toggle to the upcoming survival games option menu titled Yellow Markers. You'll be able to change it from on to reduced. Some objects will stay yellow, but before you scream about immersion, it causes ladders. Oh, it's because ladders, beams, and valve wheels, these objects were made yellow to fit the aesthetic of the oil rig and indeed real oil rigs. So I hate that people bitch about this. I don't think it's a big deal. I love that they're adding an option. I've always said if you don't like it, if the game's add an option to turn it off, great. But when I listen to everybody complain about Rebirth having the yellow paint, now I know where to go when my immersion's broken. Go cry about it to somebody else. Go tell your mom. Go get your refund of your $70 game because you don't like yellow paint in the wall. I don't care. I get lost.
I'm a grown-ass man. I've been playing Rebirth for 50 hours, and I'm like, please put more yellow paint. Yeah. Tell me exactly where to go so I can get to the end of this story.
Do it.
This is such a non-story to me.
Yeah.
Gamers are babies sometimes.
We are.
Uh-huh.
We are.
Myself included.
What you a baby about?
Long video games.
Yeah, dog. I haven't been doing the open world ones anymore. It takes a long time. I ain't got it.
Yeah.
But no, I think this is great. If this is like the sign that devs just need to put in the toggle to have it on, have it off, if that's a difficulty type thing, if you want it on easy or whatever, I like that it's a toggle. Just then if anyone has a reason to bitch about it, you don't have a reason to bitch anymore. You just flick it off and it's done. It's over.
Yeah, I think they probably took the accessibility route of let's just make this game a little more accessible for folks.
Yeah.
I need to maybe separate difficulty and accessibility, but like,
sure.
I think it actually helps with both in that maybe if you are a certain type of colorblind, you blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Or difficulty, but yeah, I'm glad that we're getting more options.
Yeah.
Gamers can be babies sometimes.
They can.
This doesn't even strike me as an accessibility thing of like, this wouldn't help with colorblindness. This truly is just for ease of play.
Yeah.
So
and I'll tell you, if I had an option to turn on more yellow paint so I could just get the arrow, because I've already said we're going to stream Still Wakes the Deep. I'm still petrified of it because I hate the water. Do you know how much shit's down there, Mr. Jacob McCourt, that we don't know?
I do. Have you seen the deep seawater fish? You play Dredge. You know what's down there.
Yeah.
You didn't play Dredge.
No, I did play Dredge. It was my game of the year. I love Dredge.
Great.
But like, it's so weird because Dredge was in the case of like, oh, this is like psychological horror thriller type deal. And I'm like, okay, I can handle this. This isn't so bad. But like this one, this first person horror game, I'm watching this dude submerged underwater trying to climb like this sunken ladder and all the crazy shit that's in there. There's going to be just a point where I'm running from flooding water. I know it's going to happen and my heart's going to be racing and I'm going to want to just turn the game off. I don't want to play it, but I do. The game looks so awesome and I'm petrified. I'm going to load it up and I'm just going to be scared as shit.
Yeah, please let me know because as I said, gamers are babies, including myself. I'm a scared little baby, and this game is probably a little too much for me. So you're gonna have to let me know on the Playlog podcast.
I will.
What that game's all about.
I will. I'm thinking post-vacation stream type deal. Might hop into that one and see what's going on, and then the following week, see what's going on.
Love it. You need to, when you review it, make sure to have like a number for how much yellow paint is in there out of 10.
Yes. Yep. I'll make no yellow paint to just like banana.
Yes.
That's the gauge. I don't know if that equals 10, if that equals 5, what that is, but
what's Big Bird in that range?
Ooh, Big Bird should be above banana.
Yeah.
Let's put banana at 5. Let's pick Big Bird. Big Bird probably should be like an 8 because I feel like Bus should be 10.
I guess Bus bigger than Big Bird. But
should Sun be 10? Or are we just like Sun's not yellow?
But
like
Sun's more
cartoon,
white.
Right. So Sun, we shouldn't include Sun. Is there anything bigger than a Bus that's yellow? What color is Jupiter? That's like
orange.
Green. It's orange.
Green?
Isn't it green? I thought Jupiter was green. Maybe Saturn's green. Hold on.
Also not green.
Isn't it? Isn't it like an ugly poop color? What color is
Neptune's
Saturn?
like a blue. Is like a blue-green. Pluto is blue. Uranus is also about the same color as Neptune.
You don't know that.
That's what the spacemen say.
I don't believe it. I'm just saying, I'm looking at this picture of Jupiter. It's maybe a little, Saturn. It's a little greenish. I don't know.
If you're listening to this and you're yelling at the screen or at the podcast, just write in to Danny and tell him that he's wrong about his opinions on space.
I'm not wrong. I'm never wrong. I'm
You're
always
sometimes
correct.
wrong.
Nope, I don't know if that's true.
Okay.
I think that's correct. I wouldn't know. I haven't been on video game trivia yet, so.
Oh shit! Okay, got me. I got you, dog. Don't worry.
I know. Someday.
2027.
That okay? You know what? That gives you time to prepare. I can play everything, so I can have every answer. Thank you for the window.
You're welcome.
But yeah, let us know what you think about Yellow Peyton games, and if you hate it, stop crying about it, little baby back bitch. Anyway, next news. We had a Nintendo Direct today, and they announced not a lot of new stuff. Not all indie, but a handful of indies coming in there. So I'll run through that list really quick. This is just from the Nintendo website. I don't need to credit those guys. They make our games. That sounded like an asshole. I didn't mean it. Stray will coming to the Nintendo Switch this holiday. Mio, Memories in Orbit from Deux Dias Mesmes.
Nope. Try again.
Dues des Mesmes.
Deux Dixiem.
Dues des Mes. Yep, I nailed it.
Yeah.
Developers
12
tenths. Developers of Shady Pardon Me will releasing on Switch in 2025. A free Among Us update dropped today, Tuesday, again 2 days ago as of this episode dropping. Adding 3 new roles: the Noisemaker, the Tracker, and the Phantom. I haven't played Among Us in a minute. And I think my problem was I was like, let me get this platinum because it's achievable. It's just doing a lot of shit. The problem is on the third map, like some of the things didn't work. Like there's one where you have to rotate the stick and it never functioned.
The thing ain't thinging. Got it.
That thing ain't thinging. I don't know if that was a PlayStation problem. I don't know if that was a console problem, period. I don't know. But like PlayStation's the one that doesn't have the cross progression. So I'm like, shit, I can't do nothing. I got to do it on PlayStation, but I can't do it. So they fix their shit. And that was like a year ago. So I have no idea. I don't know if it works, but we'll figure it out. But yeah, new roles. I think the Noisemaker is one. If you die, you make like a air horn noise so people know where you died at.
Nice.
The Tracker, you can put like a tracking like tag on somebody and see where they go around the map. And then a Phantom is a role for the Killer, where you can go invisible and kill somebody. You're like, what happened to my friend? I don't know. The Phantom's here. So that all looks fun.
Man, I need to play Among Us again.
Listen, if we want to do like a streamer night, get together. I know the kids are like, Danny, can I play? I'm like, no, only big kids are playing today. Go away. We got to get that going. And then they also announced Darkest Dungeon 2 will be launching on the Switch on July 15th. There were also a bunch of other things, farming sims and anime games. I just assumed they were all Square Enix, so I didn't put them on here. But there might have been an indie in there or two.
There's a lot of Square Enix in this. There was a lot of Nintendo in this. We had Sony putting Lego Horizon Adventures. This is an indie game podcast. I think that was really is Funko Fusion? Nah, Funko's big.
Yeah, I was like, I assume they're not indie, but you never know.
I think that would basically be it. That's indie.
I think so. Yeah. Like I kept looking at what is it? Not Fantasian. Formagia, however you said it. Yeah. Yep. I was like, that one kind of had indie vibes, but it had like the art style of like Fairy Tale. So in my head, I'm like, oh, that's got backing. That's got to be AAA or AA or however you want to lay it. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and even the new Dempamen, like that's based off a mobile game. So that's not really. That ain't indie.
It ain't indie. Come on. If this was Indie World, we'd have so much more to talk about. But
we would.
That being said, I know it's an indie show, but like the new Zelda game looks pretty lit.
Yeah, it does.
I
need to play
game?
that the first one. I just
Awakening?
want to know who's making it. Who's making it?
I think they showed the Zelda game on the back for like the
no,
Switch
not the
Lite.
Zelda game. The Mario
one.
game.
The Mario
who's
one.
Making it.
Okay, that one I don't think we saw. I don't know.
Yeah.
Good question.
Yeah, because they shut Alpha Dream down, so I wonder who's making that.
Right.
My bet would be either Nintendo internal or Intelligent Systems, because that Intelligent System does everything.
That's true. It's true. I don't know how they
RPG
sleep.
Doesn't matter. Shooter doesn't matter. Strategy didn't matter.
All the memes I've seen of like we're the Mario Brothers, and it's Mario or Mario RPG, the Mario and Luigi, and then what's the other one? Paper Mario. Like in like a trio, and they're like puppies with like Mario faces and shit.
Yeah.
Like it's good shit. It's good shit. We don't talk about that shit here. This is an indie podcast.
Yeah.
Lame AAA guys. Down with them. It got dark, Jacob.
It did.
It got dark.
Dark like a black and white screen.
Like a black. Oh, you got the segue. Hey, we have Playdates. So, about a month ago, I got reached out to from POPAGENDA, and they said, "Hey, Danny, you're a cool guy. Would you like a Playdate?" And I said, "Well, sure, I would." Shortly after seeing my good buddy Jacob McCourt here post a couple TikToks being like, "I've been playing this game on the Playdate and then this game on the Playdate." So when I got mine, I was like, "Hey, Mr. Jacob, I don't know about you, but I'm getting a Playdate and I want to do a podcast about it at some point. So if you want to get together and talk about Playdate," and that's exactly what he said. He said, "Hell yeah."
Yeah. I was like, let me check my schedule. No. And then I said yes. So we're here.
Absolutely.
I've had mine. How long I had mine? I've had mine for a few more months than this. So I disclosure. I purchased my Playdate, but I did get access to the games that we're going to talk about. So again, thank you to POPAGENDA for making that happen. Please don't come after me, FTC. I'm here.
Yes. Also, just to be safe, I also got the catalog, the case, and the Playdate from POPAGENDA, and then POPAGENDA, the real MVPs. POPAGENDA's lit. There's some.
Them and Panic. Panic and POPAGENDA.
Panic's great, yeah. What a great team. So now you've had your Playdate longer than me.
Yeah.
Tell me about your Playdate experience here.
Yeah, so I'm a little handheld sicko. I'm one of those guys who, to this day, I mean, we did a DS panel together at PAX. At PAX East, but even I literally have a stack of DSs and 3DSs and shit right beside me. I love handhelds so much so lately that I've gotten into the mod scene. That's a big beefy boy. Yeah, Steam Deck, little too big for what we're doing here.
Yeah, I'm sorry. There could be DS games on it. We don't know.
We don't know.
Allegedly.
I mean, ones that you purchased and backed up, right?
Correct. Yes. From Steam correctly. Yes.
Yes, exactly. So beyond that, I've been getting into like Ambernic consoles and these like little micro consoles that can play everything. So when I saw the Playdate, I was like, this thing is super neat, and it's $190. I think it was $179 when I got mine, $179 US. So I purchased and said this will be a fun thing that if I'm, I was on a 40-minute flight yesterday, I'm gonna play my Playdate. If I'm, going on a bus, I'm gonna use my Playdate. If I have 15 minutes to kill, I'm gonna go on my Playdate. And let me tell you, that's sort of exactly how I use it. If I'm just looking for the littlest bit of game, something to keep me occupied for a short amount of time, and I have direct light, then this thing is the shit.
It's the direct. I want to get in direct light in a minute here. So I found out about this thing. There's a guy on YouTube. His name is Metal Jesus Rocks. I don't know if you're familiar with him at all.
Yes, I am.
Okay, cool. Love him. Yeah. When I saw his video of the Playdate, I'm like, that is a cool little thing. And I remember back then he made the comment about like, it's weird that it's not backlit in 2021 when it first dropped. Yeah. I was like, I don't know if it's a new model when they offer to send it to me, but I was like, maybe this one will be backlit. It's not. It's got that retro feel. Like I have a younger audience, so they're going to be like, I don't know what you're talking about, Danny. But those days of riding in the back of the car with your Game Boy, no backlight, and kind of have to go by like the traffic lights and play accordingly. Very similar vibe. The amount of times I kind of have to play my Playdate at like a 45-degree angle, because like I'm sitting here at the desk, but my light's coming from this way, so you have to play it that way. It's not ideal, but there is that like tinge of like, interesting. I enjoy doing this weird monotony again to be able to enjoy my games.
This thing definitely, harkens back to the Game Boy, but even if your audience is familiar with the Pebble watch that, came and went, and the like original Kindles when they were e-ink screens, I believe it uses the same technology. So it is very much an e-ink screen, no backlight. This thing was designed by Teenage Engineering, and the thing we haven't talked about yet. So Teenage Engineering has done a couple of, very famous product designs in the last couple of years, including that little rabbit AI thing that was Teenage Engineering. This thing, it's got a crank on it, which is sort of the thing that we've never seen in games before.
Yeah. I showed this to a couple people, and they were like, why a crank? I'm like, and I think they're literally like, you're asking why we did a crank. Because we could. Yeah. And I'm like, it's just a fun, goofy little thing. It's just on there. You start cranking, and then some of the games use it more than others. And the way the catalog works, I don't know if there's like how much deeper it gets. You might know more than I do, but it's just different indie devs making smaller experiences on this thing. Some are more like you're cranking the crank to move forward or backwards. Some are like traversal based. I know there's one, I can't remember what it's called. It's like a vampire one where you have to turn it like sideways and you go up and down and everything with it. So there's different ways the games play and use it. Like some of the games we'll talk about later, like one's like focusing the camera. One's like a precision thing of how much you're filling up a drink. So there's all different ways to use this like tactile thing on this console. Oh, I have a new game available. Hold on.
Some of them don't really even use it. So if you look at something like, we'll talk about Bullfrog Deluxe in a minute, that game barely uses the crank. It really just uses the D-pad input and then the two buttons on the front of it, the A and B button. But yeah, they just wanted a novel input method, and I think the crank is incredibly novel. What'd you get?
I don't know. Let's find out.
Oh yeah, open it.
Look at that.
For the audio listener, when it's got this really novel, the whole thing is just about whimsy. Yeah. It is a, I don't want to call it unnecessary because that's very mean, but it's like, how can we make the coolest thing with the crank and even with the UI and how we purchase games, when you purchase a game from the catalog or when you get, one of your season 1 games, it'll deliver it to you in a little, piece of wrapping paper that you just hit the A button and then it unwraps the gift for you and you get to play a new video game.
That's great. It's so cool.
It just makes me smile way more often than I thought it would.
You mentioned like season 1. So like the way these things work is, and I think we're on season 2, or they announced a season 2, or that already happened. I forget how that one works.
No, I think the way it's working is season 1 is 24 games.
Correct.
And then now I believe they're going catalog for all of their games. I don't know if they're doing a season 2. We're gonna fact check that really fast. But my understanding was we were moving to catalog for Playdate.
That seems correct. I looked up Playdate Season 2, and it's some dude ranting on Reddit about it, so I don't know where I saw that. I think it was deepfakes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But yeah, so you get, like, Season 1, there's, 24 games, you said? And then every week you get 2 of those games, and you get to do a little unpacking, and like, oh, here they are. So I'm currently on week 3 of my first season, because my season started when I got the device and got it all set up. And one we'll talk about then with, what's the pup one? Pick Pack Pup. Pick Pack Pup. I started that one today. What a gem.
Yeah.
But it's great because you can sit here and kind of play around with it. It's got that energy of like your mobile games, like the amount of times I've played like a Brick Break or like any kind of match 3 thing. It's just a device you bring with you. You play at home. I'll typically play it in bed before I'm like nodding off. It's just fun little mini games that you get to play on it.
It's incredibly small and pocketable. I think if you have an iPhone, it's probably about half the size of an iPhone, so very small. You can put it in the backpack. Danny, for the video watcher, is showing the size. It's about half the size, so you can throw that in a pocket real easy, in a backpack real easy. The battery life on it's pretty good. You can leave it for multiple days if you're just playing a little bit without charging it.
Yeah.
But yeah, very pick up and play. Hey, 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, find a game. And even, we explained season 1, but catalog is how you get games beyond the 24 games. Mm-hmm. And I would say for the most part, at least from what I've seen, the games go from anywhere from $1 to $8 is sort of the there's a couple games. I think there's a racing game called P Racing that's like 15 or something.
Okay.
But most games are from $1 to $8. And I think a lot of those games, you get about $1 to $8 worth of entertainment out of them.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think, and I say this to someone who's received all of my games free so far. Mm-hmm. So I haven't I wouldn't say the value has been lost on me, but I haven't had to pay for anything with my Playdate yet. And we'll get to the games here in a second. I don't know how you feel about the pricing of it. I know you said you're getting the value for the games. I think right now it's listed, $199 online. I remember I showed this to my family. I'm like, oh, I got this cool little console thing. And they're like, okay, that's cool. How much is it? I'm like, it's $200. Like, $200 for this little guy? And I'm like, I could see that sticker price being shocking for a lot of people. I think that's probably the reason I held off for so long. I was like, this thing looks cool, but I don't know if I wanted to spend $200 on it. Now that I have it, I'm like, I could have seen myself enjoying it had I spent the $200. I would have got my value out of it. But I could see that like shocking people and be like, you know what? I'll wait. Maybe I'll find one cheap online or something. Are you like the same camp? Do you think you got your money's worth with it?
Yeah, I think that's so the way it worked is for the first year plus, they were doing in batches where they were saying, hey, once you purchase, you're going to get yours. Because I know that they had some manufacturing problems with the battery on these things where they either had to change their battery process or supplier halfway through. It caused problems, and they just got a little behind on fulfilling units. And so it was a year of very low units going out, and then they sort of finally got caught up, and you can now buy a Playdate if you want to. But for a while, it was like a 6 to 12 month wait. So I bought mine. They did like a Playdate or Panic Direct, and they were saying, this is what we're publishing. Here's a Playdate update. And also, we're going to add a bunch of new games, but this is going to go from $179 to $199. This is your last chance to buy it at $179. So I said, okay, bet. I'll pay the money now. And got it a few months later. And it's the problem with gamers is that we have an abundance of choice.
Yes.
Right? And this is a $200 USD console that you get 24 little games with, sure, but then you have to, spend $3, $6, $8 on additional games. It's tough for people who may not have the most money, disposable income to game.
Sure.
This is very much for a specific crowd of, handheld sickos like me who love this shit.
Yeah.
But if that's your shtick, if you love handhelds and you're, buying Ambernicks and buying POW Kitty devices and, modding them and adding N64 stuff on there and shit like that, if that's your shtick, you need to buy a Playdate because it is made for you. But for the average gamer, it's a tough sell.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I was thinking this morning, kind of playing it, and like we're talking about it on the podcast tonight. What else can I think to say? And I immediately thought of like you see people already fighting back about like my Xbox, my PlayStation, which one do my Nintendo Switch, my PC. Like this isn't a contender for the console war. You're not gonna. Maybe one guy might be like, I really like the Playdate. I think y'all should play this one.
Yeah.
Like think about the savings you'll get for one game. You could buy like 30 on this thing. Like that. It's true, but yeah, I don't see. I've always mentioned the regular gamers. We both talked a little before the show about like our GameStop experiences, and you have the one or two guys that come in like, I'll see you in 365 days after I pick up my new copy of Madden. See you next year for the same thing. Like
the Madden and COD bros.
Yep. Their FIFAs, their NBAs. They might pop in now and again and be like, I need one of those PlayStation cards so I can buy some. Yeah. Oh God, what's the money in
some
NBA?
Shark dollars.
Shark cards or GTA.
Shark cards is GTA.
The fuck's the NBA currency? I keep going to say Ultimate Team, that's FIFA, whatever it is.
Yeah.
The in-game money, and then they bounce and come back again. But like, I don't see any of them rolling in and buying a Playdate and having a good old time with that. But
listen, if you're a sicko listening to Playlog podcast, you are probably a guy like Danny and I, and so if you have the disposable income, I think it's a really cool thing.
Be a sicko. Come be a sicko.
Yeah, come with us.
Come be a sicko.
Yeah.
We'll start a book club.
Yeah, sickos only.
The Sicko Playdate Society. Mm-hmm. SPS.
Ooh, yeah.
We'll workshop it. It's there.
We can workshop it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But speaking of this Playdate, we should probably talk about the games that you can play on it. Mm-hmm. So you want to start by telling me about some of the games you put on here that you think. I don't know how I'm going to title this episode yet. I don't know if these are the must-have Playdate games.
You have to. I don't know. For packaging, you have to.
Okay, there we have it. What do you think is a must-have Playdate game?
So you mentioned it, so let's talk about it now. Pick Pack Pup, I think, is the best game in Season 1. Yep. It is it sort of starts out as a match 3 puzzle game, but it is, it's wrapped with this, dog working at a logistics company, and there are comics that sort of tell a story about this dog, and each level in the single player is you having to succeed and hit a certain mission of like, hey, make sure to match some TVs, or make sure to match this value in goods with, some items being worth more than others. Hey, make sure to get match 4s or match 5s. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's easy to understand. I did get caught on 1 or 2 levels, but because, I'm just not good at video games, but I think it is the best game in Season 1.
Yeah, I played it today for the first time today. We had mentioned earlier, like I got it on my drive to help my brother move out of college. I was like, oh, Jacob had this on his list, let me try it. So I hopped in. It has the charming, like cartoony, it's this dog looking for a job, rolls into some interview. It's like, hey, do you want to work at this company? But the way the story is told, it's like a comic strip. But this is where you use the crank, because I don't think you use the crank at all for the gameplay.
No.
But to go through the narrative, you crank it and it will move down the comic strip like it's like a credit type roll. So that's really cute. But yeah, then it is like if you've played like Royal Match or Candy Crush, very similar thing of like you're matching these 3 objects with these 3 objects, and then it turns into those packages which you then turn in and will slide at the same time. They'll all add up for currency. Sometimes you'll get challenges that are do 5 of these at once, or you'll have one like make a package that's at least 5 items or 4 items or whatever. You get countdown timers. I am in chapter 3 as of recording this, but I think this is probably the one I've had the most fun with. So I was like, damn, Jacob's right. It's a good one. He's a good one.
I mean, apart from Crankin Presents Time Travel Adventures, which I thought was, once I got past being really stuck, and Crankin Presents is Keita Takahashi's game for the Playdate, who's the guy who did Katamari Damacy. He's the creator of it. That's a cool thing that visually looks stunning for a screen like this. Those are the only games that I'm like, you must play these in Season 1.
Yeah, dude, I'll take that. I think otherwise in Season 1, I think I got my Playdate. The first 2 games that were installed were Wake. Oh, what's the surfing one? Wake, Wave, Russell, Wambo.
Yeah, keep going.
Whitewater Wipeout was the first thing I launched, and that one was fun. But I got into Casual Birder after that.
Yeah,
and that was the first time I'm like, oh, this is cool. So you play as this, I want to say kid, but it's a very cartoony style. So probably a 30-year-old something, but he moves into this new town and he's like a bird watcher and he takes pictures. So it's a very like, for simplest way, like an Earthbound kind of RPG where you walk around, you're finding birds. Each time you enter a new room in the game, you'll find the bird on the map. So you have to pull out the crank and you'll use that to, I forgot I had the volume on. It just jingled at me. But then it'll start to, you'll find the bird, you'll move the camera lens, and then you use the crank to focus, like up too much, unfocused, and then get it, take the screenshot, and then you add to your catalog. And then you go to the next room, do that. Sometimes you have birds that are zipping around too much. You have to like place the camera, like, I know you're going to pass, and boom, got the picture. Focus it and everything. So I've probably put maybe 20, 30 minutes in that one. I probably have like 7 or 8 of the different birds, and like that's what I'm excited to get back to. But yeah, Casual Birder I think was my like break-in game for my Playdate, and I was just like, oh, I got to see what else is on here. Casual Birder is really cool.
I think there's a way, and I don't know if you want to do this, but I think there's a way where you can skip the 2 games a week, and you can just say, give me all the games.
Give me all the games.
But I think you have to go like in the settings to be like, just give me all the games.
Bet.
But
on my Playdate or on the website?
One of the two.
Device metric system. I could replay the intro, restart my Playdate, reboot the data disk. I could send a crash report. I could do an input test. I don't see it on here. You lied to me. It was a fib.
I'm just a liar.
I am calling POPAGENDA.
Oh, you're gonna tell on me?
Yeah. Can I tell you how funny it is? Like, I learned about, total segue. I learned about POPAGENDA through Kind of Funny, you know, Greg, Jen, whole 9 yards. What he would always be like, Jen's company, POPAGENDA. I thought it was POPAGENDA, not Pop Agenda. Like Papa, I'm like, interesting. Weird that she named it that, but you know, pop off, Jen, do what you're going to do. So for the longest time, and then I actually saw it. I'm like, oh, Pop Agenda. Got it. I thought it was like grandpa, like POPAGENDA.
POPAGENDA.
Yes.
No.
So that was really funny for me. So
I have fact checked it. I think that there's a way where with sideload you can get the games on there faster, but we're not gonna do that. You're just gonna get the games every week.
Yeah. No, listen, I'm cool with it because then I could play what's in the catalog, and then when I get my new ones, I check those out. So it's a good time. It's a good time.
What else did you like in season 1? Because a lot of my picks are actually from catalog.
So because I'm still in like my beginning part here where I have 6 of the games, I've played Pick Pack Pup. I think I launched Lost Your Marbles, but like was intro cutscenes. I'm like, I don't have time to play this right now. This one, it doesn't have the logo, but it's the walking robot. You know what I'm talking about? This.
Yeah, that's Crankin' Presents Time Travel Adventures from Keita Takahashi, which is quite good.
Okay, cool.
Boogie Loops is not really a game. It's more of like a music experience, if you will.
Yeah.
But you're gonna get some good ones, especially you have Flipper Lifter coming up, which is a game about. Do you have that one yet, or is that next week?
I do not have that one yet, but I see it on the catalog.
Yeah, so you're gonna get it next week, and essentially it is a transporting penguins via elevators game. That's very. It's like a cool really half an hour. You're gonna enjoy it a lot.
Yeah, it looks awesome. I think I have on my like to play like what's coming up. On my season 1, I have Ratcheteer, which looked really cool. I have Forest Burns Up in Smoke, which looked like goofy enough where I'm like, oh, it's like a not Smokey the Bear, but like a forest ranger, like, oh, let's go on this little adventure about forest fires and stuff. And then Spellcorked, which seemed like one where you're like mixing potions and stuff in like a pot. So those 3 looked great. And then I have First in Line, which is not a part of season 1. But I think that's the one I unwrapped there when I was showing it for the video viewers out there. And that was one I think I downloaded maybe like 20, 30 minutes before. But when you redeem it on the website for like the catalog one that we have, it's like whenever it pings the play date. So I'll like redeem it. I'm like, is it going to be in 10 minutes? Is it going to be in a couple hours? When will I see it? And that's when we pulled up. I'm like, oh, I have a new game. Nice. It's always, it gives like a little banner. Yeah. Nice little gift. But yeah, those are the games I'm looking forward to for rest of season 1. I'm sure there'll be other one like bangers. I'm like, shit, I wasn't ready for this one. But I never think Spellcorked is probably of those 3 the one I'm looking forward to the most, followed by Ratcheteer.
I think that Zach Gage even did one. So Zach Gage from like Spell Tower fame.
Okay.
He's like a great game designer. He has one called, I think it's meant to be Snack, but it's essentially a game of Snake.
Yep.
That's also quite fun. A lot of these experiences in season 1, it's either you get an experience that is like Casual Birder, where that is a video game.
Yeah.
It is just on this sort of 1-bit screen. And then you get these little experiences like the boogie, is it Boogie Loops that I was talking about? Or you get Snake, or even, Whitewater Wipeout. Whitewater Wipeout is more of like an arcade game.
Yeah. Which is fun. It's fine. I just like, I think that's one where I was like, I don't know that I necessarily need to like complete this one.
Mm-hmm.
I think how many points did I get? I'm like, 20? It's probably my high score for the rest of my life. I think I'm good.
Yep.
But yeah, I know there's a couple that you have where I'm just like, ooh, I was really bad at that one. So like, yeah, but what's another one that you really liked on
well, I mean, you're playing Return of Obra Dinn right now on stream, right?
I am playing Return of Obra Dinn right now on stream.
Who made that game?
Oh, that team. Shit. Hold on. There's a lot of devs out there. I know this. I'm not.
You got
Googling
this.
it.
I'm trivia. Trivia. What's the guy? Who made it?
That's really easy. It's Lucas Pope.
Yeah, so Lucas Pope made a game for Playdate, and it's Mars After Midnight. And if you've played Papers, Please, it is very Papers, Please-esque, except there's not really a meta-narrative to it. Spoilers, I guess, very light spoilers for Mars After Midnight. It is more of a, he made a game for his children that somehow mixes like Sesame Street with Papers, Please, but it's on an alien planet. And it's something that I think will not sell Playdates, but if you have Playdate, you must play this video game. Yeah.
I think the way we're explaining, like we talk about Playdate, is almost like where the current state of VR is.
Yeah.
Where like it's hard to convince someone to go buy VR with like, I'll say specifically PlayStation VR. I think that's maybe the hardest sell. But like there's not a lot that's like you should go buy one for this game. But if you have a VR, you should play XYZ. Yeah, Mars After Midnight is when you mentioned. I just bought a
MetaQuest 2 like maybe 6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Because they went down in price to $199, where I was like, hey, I'm not going to pay $400 or $500 for a VR headset, but like $199 US is very palatable.
I can live with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wait for the VR 3, then I get a 2.
Yeah, exactly. That's how you do it.
Unless they make the 3 backwards compatible with 1 and 2, then maybe.
Oh shit.
Do you know how many PS1 VR games I have that I just haven't touched?
Probably very many, right?
At least 5. At least 5.
Is Iron Man VR 2?
It sure is. It sure
is.
Cool. Good. Iron Man VR 2, Fisherman's Tale 2, Moss 2. A lot of 2s. A lot of 2s in there. I think I said Iron Man VR 2. I don't know why I gave that one a sequel. That's not true. But yeah, a lot of sequels that I got to check out. But this is not a VR episode.
It is not. Mars After Midnight, dope game. You got to play it.
Yeah, I tried to play ones that weren't on your list, because I know you sent me a short list through DMs, and I was like, okay, I know Jacob will talk about this one, so I won't jump on it yet. I'll see if I can play other ones on the list. But yeah, this is one probably now that we're like, we did the episode, I want to jump into Mars After Midnight, because that one looks, seeing the screenshots, Papers, Please wasn't exactly my thing, and I think that's more of a tonal thing than it is like the gameplay, because I really enjoyed Little Guardsman, which is still very similar. Yeah. But this being on the Playdate and being like I think whatever the Ryan, John Krasinski, fantasy movie, The Fosters meets whatever. I get that vibe from the characters. So I'm like, okay, this looks cute. I think I could really get into it.
Yeah, it's just well animated and the music is fun. The sound effects are great. And there's essentially you're a bouncer at a community center for aliens where you put on certain seminars, invite people in the community to come out, but then you have to, right at the door, gauge whether or not they fit the criteria of the event that you're putting on. Yeah. So sometimes you just have to like look at their eyes and do they have 2 eyes? Or you will get tools which will make you examine these aliens in a specific way. So maybe you get an x-ray machine where you have to say like, tell me about their bones. Or you'll have to, shoot an air horn in the face and see how they react to it. It's really inventive. And it's again, another one of those, I think I played it for maybe 3 hours and I just picked it up, 15 minutes at a time and had a great time with it.
Yeah. I'm so excited to jump into that one. That one looks really cool. Looking at some of the other ones that we both have on here, we both have Root Bear, which is, I think, maybe my second or third favorite experience on here, and it's mainly because of the expressions of the bear.
Yes.
So the way this game works, the way you use the crank is you're at a bar. I'm assuming a root beer bar. It's all root beer.
Imagine Tapper, the arcade game.
Exactly. You're running the bar, and as you crank the crank is such a weird sentence to say to me. But
I just want to say, when you crank that Soldier Boy.
You crank that Soldier Boy. By the way, this is a Soldier Boy console, if we didn't know that.
Oh, yes, of course.
It's not. I won't put that on them. But as you're cranking it, you're filling the glass, and this bear is like side-eyeing the glass, and he's all chill. And as you start to fill, he starts to like geek out a little bit. And he's all shaking and staring at it. And the closer you get, he's like pointing at you. And if you overflow, he like freaks out like, oh, you fucking suck. Or if you're just below, he'll be like, okay. And if you nail it, he's like all excited for you. And like that's the gameplay. There's different glasses and everything. You have to fill at different speeds. There he goes. He's willing to you got this. Fill that glass. Fill it. I'm sure it's hard to play this backwards.
It's super hard.
He freaks out. Poor audio listeners, like, what's going on? I'm like, go to the YouTube version today. There, he's just kind of like, it's whatever. Then you feel it.
It's very hard to play backwards.
Yeah, I can only imagine. It's hard to play like forwards until you get like the pacing of it, because everything's a different size. Sometimes you're not filling a full glass. You're only doing like a shot worth of it, but you got to like just enough. Then you got to count for the foam. So when the foam dissipates, where it's going to end up. So that was just a fun like puzzle one. I can see that being like a quick like before bed. Let me see how many root beers I can fill today without pissing off the bear and get a new high score. But that's
that one went weirdly viral on TikTok too, where people were just like putting like months ago when it came out, and so people were losing their minds because like, how do I play the bear game with the root beer? What console is that? Yeah,
Playdate. Come on. TMRC. Fucking. What's the R one again? I forget what the R
Restricted.
stands for. Restricted. I knew that. That was a test. I was saying if you knew.
I knew.
You did. I'm proud of you.
We played another one from Hedgehog Dreams. This one is Far Away Fairway.
Yeah, it is.
The first time I've said those words out loud. But it is it's like Mario Golf on Game Boy, but they are, I believe they're procedurally generated levels, and it's really just you going through and, you know, with your cranking that Soldier Boy to smack that golf ball, and it's just, you know, got good music too, and it's simple, and it's fun. Good music.
I sure hope it's coming through Discord. I know OBS gets it.
It's not.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
cool.
And I think it's from. I follow them on Twitter. It's Rakashi on Twitter. I think is their handle. But I think they're a Toronto-based dev. And it's just a cool game. If you like Mario Golf on Game Boy, you must. This is not an option for you. You must play this.
It's really cute. You just play some golf. The bird carries your ball.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna have to zoom in a lot to see this one.
Okay, now I can sort of hear it through your noise gate. You know the game.
It's fun. It's okay. Hold on. I closed the cover like it's a DS, and then I realized it's not going to stop, so I have to go back to home. Yeah. No, that was a very like. It's the simple gameplay, but the addiction. I looked away for 3 seconds about the DS. You play Far Away Fairway on that thing? Or?
Yeah, no.
Okay. But it was like simple enough to just play over and over and continue to go, while like that could easily be a pickup and play for like 10, 15 minutes, stop, come back later, everything like that. Like I really enjoyed that one. A simple experience that's just a lot of fun. Yeah,
Crankshaft was similar for me. Crankshaft is a game that I got weirdly into, where it's literally just imagine like a 3-dimensional cylinder, and there's a marble sort of just making its way across a very long cylinder, and there are essentially these gates around the cylinder that you just have to rotate to make sure your ball goes through. Your ball can hit 1 or 2 of the gates, but if you hit like a gate 3 times in a row, your ball is just going to explode. You just have to make sure to get that ball through those gates. And it's weirdly meditative, just between the music and the sound effects that go as you turn the cylinder and make your way through. And each time you go through one of the gates, it gives you like a little popping sound of which is... Yeah, man, it's another one of these like little pick up and play experiences that I've played maybe 25 or 26 levels.
Okay.
But whenever I pick this thing up, sometimes I just go through 2 or 3 levels of Crankshaft, and look, I will run out of game eventually, but I'm having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, if anyone's ever seen it, there's so many mobile versions of it. Vertical, it's just the big old pole, the spinning platforms, like just how Jacob described. Like it's exactly that. Just you have the tactile crank to play it, so it's a lot cooler. Something similar, I've been playing Hodge Dodge.
Okay.
Which similar, you're running to the side of the screen, but you're playing as this like, I don't know if you've seen Smiling Friends, like. Okay, so it's this weird like Adult Swim-esque show, and there's a main character who's like a big yellow guy with a big nose. I don't know the character's name. I'm sure someone out there could correct me on it. He looks kind of like him, different nose and stuff, but you just are tempo running it. You're going from one of 3 lanes.
Nice. Yep.
And there's like blocks coming across. There's coins, so you kind of want to dodge back to miss the block, but then quickly dodge forward so you can get the coins. And you're doing this by like, I think it's forward is the front row, down is the middle row, and then back is the farthest one. So you're kind of like jumping between these and making sure you're in the right one. That's very similar to Crankshaft in the way of just like similar gameplay style. That's another cute one.
I think I just need to reiterate that like almost all the games we're talking about, like Mars After Midnight is $6, Crankshaft is $6. Like these are very, I don't want to say mobile-esque experiences because I don't want it to seem like I'm talking down. They are just like very finite, limited, fun little packages that, are worth the $1 to $6 you're going to spend.
Yeah, Hodge Dodge is $5.
Yep.
No ads, guys. No ads. Not like a mobile game.
Yeah, no ads. Panic probably hates ads.
I imagine. Right? Ads suck.
Ads suck.
Let's see. What else we got?
I got Bullfrog Deluxe.
That's another one. I like that one. I put on my list.
Yeah, it's Tetris, except instead of controlling the blocks, you control a little frog, and you need to pull the blocks using your tongue. So as you stack blocks, you're going to not only use those blocks to make lines, but you're also using those blocks to platform to jump your frog, higher so that you can pull the blocks in the correct direction.
Yeah.
If you get crushed by blocks, that's when you game over.
Yeah.
It's great.
That's a cute. I'm bad at it right now. I'm not good at being agile with the size of the plate. I have some big ass meaty hands. So trying to play this thing sometime. Hey, buddy, what are you talking about? You're getting another PAX bathroom selfie next year. I'll tell you that.
Whoa. Hey. Okay, Doc. What's up?
Yeah, listen, follow me on Twitter. You might know what I'm talking about. But yeah, just like holding this thing. This is really tough to do the platforming on for me. Yeah. And I almost wish I had like some kind of tactile like thumbstick to replace the D-pad maybe. But no, I dug that one. I think I had a pretty long run for my first one. I'm like, damn, my thumbs are cramping up a little bit. So let me change games. But yeah, Bullfrog's another cool one. I really dug that one.
You almost need a 3D printed D-pad that goes on top of your D-pad that makes it bigger.
How much Etsy Playdate stuff you think's out there?
Little to none.
Okay. You know for a fact or you're assuming?
I'm assuming.
Okay. Now see, now if I look up Playdate console.
Don't Google Playdate.
Yeah, I had to put console. Hold on.
Yeah, there you go.
Playdate. There's a comfort grip. Hold on.
Oh.
What is this thing? It looks like half a Pro controller.
Hey.
That's kind of lit. And it's got a light. It's got a light on it.
Hey.
Hold on. I'm about to shoot you this on the DMs, brother.
You're about to transact, aren't you?
Maybe. Sometimes we got to make professional choices, and money's, a thing. How the fuck does that? Here we go. Boom. Put you right there in Etsy. I got you set. I just realized it's gonna fuck up your whole camera. There we go. There we go.
Nobody saw that.
Not a single one of you. Relax.
Oh, that's actually sick.
Right?
Okay.
Looks really cool. That's the only thing I see for play. No, I see. Hold on. There's a little charge station. Hold on. There's like a carry case, which is like the brick wall texture. Hold on. Etsy might be onto something. A leather carry case.
Hell yeah.
There's a shirt that says Playdate material. It's nothing to do with the product. It's just.
Brent Tech also made a wingman grip case, so it's essentially like a little boomerang that you attach your Playdate to. Okay. Etsy's lit for these things, I guess.
Let's do it. Guys, Etsy's out there. Yeah. Replacement crank. You can take the yellow and make it green. I don't know how you do that without breaking it.
Hell yeah.
Anyway, we're getting sidetracked.
As we do.
I also played Loopsy.
Tell me about Loopsy.
I like Loopsy enough. It is Tetris-esque where you get different shapes. You have to fit them into a frame. But rather than trying to get a Tetris, you're making a path. So like it'll spawn in like an L block, but rather than it being like 4 blocks, it's the same dimensions, but it's like a path. So you have the black the black outline for the wall, and then a clear path. Then your next piece might be like one little brick, but it's just a corner, so you can turn something. The next one might be a full like U-turn type shape, and you want to keep putting these in until eventually, instead of a shape, they give you like this breakdown block, whichever path you pick will just be like trace the whole thing, and then boom, there are the points you get. You can use that on whichever path you want. I've tried to do the thing where like I build a long path and like I can't put this next block in, so I'll put it in the middle of nowhere. And then when I get the like the destroy block, or like to count my points, I'll put it on one of those like breakaway, this was useless type areas. Sometimes that plays out where I continue to build my path. I've done one that kind of laps around the whole stage. Other ones where I'm like, yeah, no, I'm screwed. I can't do anything now. I have no room for my blocks. But yeah, very Tetris-esque in the way you just kind of find the places, then build the path, get the points, and then go again. So yeah, Loopsy's a chill one. I think I was just on the catalog.
What's great about the catalog is, there aren't tons of games, but there are enough that you could, maybe not find exactly what you're looking for. So they've done a great job of curating, either based on staff picks with an explanation or based on genre. So if you are a puzzle game sicko just like me, you can go in and you can find the specific puzzle games in catalog. You can actually browse, we didn't say this, but you can browse catalog, which is where you download a bunch of other games, either on the device itself or you can do it in a web browser. I prefer doing it in a web browser just because, this is a technologically limited device. So sometimes it takes a little while for your games to load in on this thing. So I'd rather just look at it on desktop. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very like eShop-esque, where you have the quick plays, you got the action, RPG, the on sale tab, adventure games, rhythm games. And then, if you just go on, you can see like, here's the price of the game. If you're cool like us, there's a big get it free button. But once again, thank you for the key. What is this? Deep Space Dapper Squad? This looks cute. There's like an octopus man with a big mustache. Get it free. Play that later.
What's cool that we haven't mentioned about Playdate as well is that it's supposedly very easy for developers to make games for it. Not only can you do sort of a web-based, they have like a web-based editor called Pulp. You can also download a Playdate mirror so that you can just either play your games on a desktop from your Playdate, or it makes it easier for designing on Playdate. Yeah,
hell yeah. Like I know, I think someone made Celeste for Playdate, right? I think it's not on the official catalog. I think it's something to do for like itch, and then yeah, I'm not sure about the processes of doing that, but I want to play that one.
Supposedly it's relatively easy to sideload things onto your Playdate from places like itch. It's something that I just have not spent a lot of time doing yet. There are enough games on this thing.
There are enough games on this thing. I do know. Speaking of games, which ones haven't you mentioned yet? A Balanced Brew?
Yeah, Balanced Brew is a fun little unicycle game where you're given a little course and you have to, make your way from the start to your little barista coffee bar and make yourself a little coffee.
I am so bad at this game. I am on level 2, brother. I cannot make it. I don't know if I'm just too aggressive. I don't know if my reflexes aren't there. Aggressive. Because I'm like, okay, I start to go forward. He's like, I'm like, okay, back. And then he goes too far from. I'm like, he's done. He's over. Bam, right in the concrete. I'm like, okay, try again a little slower. I cannot nail this one. I'm so bad. Can I also use the D-pad? Do I have to bounce that way? Is it all crank? I'm not sure. Crank. Okay, yeah, then I'm literally impossible to play this game. I can't do it.
Yeah. Good try, though.
Yeah, I tried. I got past level 1, so like,
hey, good for you.
Thank you.
You little baby gamer, you.
Listen, I beat another Crab's Treasure. I'm not a baby anymore.
Okay, but did you get a tattoo?
Not yet. I don't have any tattoos.
Yeah, Mike Townsend did that.
He did. I saw it. Mike, stay on your own podcast. Fuck out.
Yeah. I have one more that's not on the list here.
Yes.
It's IFO. It is a little arcade. It's another arcade experience where you are making your way using the crank, which actually just like spins your ship, your little airplane around the sky, and all that you have to do is just shoot down aliens in the sky and get as many points as you can before you run into too many aliens or they shoot you and they shoot you down.
That sounds really fun. That sounds so I'm looking at the picture here on the website.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what else did I have in my Playdate? What else do I have on here?
IFO is a cute little game. You know, it's one that you'll play for an hour and be, like do 10, 12, 15 runs, and you'll be like, yeah, IFO, good game.
Got it. I got my lit. Let me see. Bullfrog, Mars and Midnight. I have the Barkless Doctrine downloaded. I haven't launched that one yet.
Okay.
I'm not sure which that one is, but I downloaded it because it looks cool, apparently. And then I also have Snecris, I mentioned earlier. That one's Snake. And then I have the Heist of Argonaut Limited. It said Heist, and I'm a sucker for heist things. So
great.
I'm excited to check that one out. But yeah, I think that's all I have down. Oh no, sorry, I have Touch Egg. Touch Egg is also on there.
What is Touch Egg?
So it is there's a sleeping cowboy in the background, and your whole game's just a finger. And when you crank, the finger gets longer and longer, and you poke this egg. You will just poke the egg, and then the cowboy will start to wake up. He's like, hey, don't touch my egg. And I think if you wake him up, he shoots you.
Really?
I think. Hold on. Right now it says don't touch. So I died. Because I tried to... Okay, hold on. Now it says crank. And I touch the egg. And he back there sleeping, right? He ain't doing nothing. Oh, this guy's out. That guy ain't even thinking. I might win. He usually wakes up by now, Jacob. I'm not sure what's going on.
Yeah, the audio listeners is very enthused right now.
I might get the high score. This guy's not waking up.
While you're doing that, I'll tell you what I'm going to play next. I'm going to play Realistic Fishing next. That is the game that I'm most excited to play. Because I was a big fan of... What's the mobile game that Rami Ismail did? Wasn't that also Realistic Fishing or...
Yes. I know this without Google.
I don't. What game? Ridiculous Fishing. I was a big fan of Ridiculous Fishing, and it had the same... Obviously not graphically, but it gave me the same gameplay vibe. So I was like, Realistic Fishing, please and thank you.
Yeah.
So that'll be my next game.
Is that what it's called on Playdate? What's it called on Playdate?
Realistic Fishing, but it's spelled with like real, R-E-E-L. Yeah.
Boom. I spelled it wrong. Fishing.
Spelling's hard.
Oh, it's hyphen. There's a hyphen. That's why I got it wrong.
Yeah.
No, I got it.
Spelling is hard.
Yeah. But no, the Playdate's a fun little thing. I'm excited to continue to play it, see what else comes out for it. I know you've been doing like occasional coverage. Like I played this new Playdate game and like playing it. I can only imagine you trying to play that for like a TikTok where you have like the phone and then like, I don't know if you have a little tripod.
Terrible.
Or if you're just like,
Awful. Lighting is actually the hardest thing because you have to get the light just right. Mm-hmm. So in order to like do it right in front of you and then put the light there in a way that it doesn't put glare on the screen. Like that's the most challenging thing. Danny, make some Playdate content. Okay.
You know, I could consider it. I thought about it. I have a couple B-rolls of me trying to like capture footage of me playing with it, but I can never do the crank because I have to hold my phone like this so I can't hold the Playdate. So I have to get like a little tripod for it or something. But I might get something, you know.
Or maybe do the Playdate mirror, just putting like Playdate on your screen and capturing it. But I don't know if that has the same like appeal for a video viewer. They want that video candy.
Yeah, maybe. I might have to do a special camera thing where I have like the Playdate on the screen, but also have like a wider cam where you see me like going,
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, listen,
that's a great idea, actually.
Yeah. Honestly.
Look at us content planning for you.
I'm saying Playdate. If we do like a stream, like a co-op stream, or we do like a Playdate like Olympics.
Realistic Fishing speed run.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
We'll plan that out. Like
Done.
2 months from now. I think I'm occupied at the moment.
Yeah, see you in 2026, brother.
Let's do it. Listen, let's do it. I'll make the promise. If I win video game trivia at insert future packs here, then we'll do our Playdate Olympics.
Then I get to go on your channel. It's gonna be great.
You absolutely can. Cool. Nah, of course you're right here anytime, dog.
Cool.
You know, when I
Thanks,
feel like
dog. When I feel like it.
When I feel like it. Oh man, but yeah, that's the list we currently have of all of our Playdate stuff. I'm sure there's so many more things to play. So if you end up picking up yourself a Playdate, there's some lists to check out. Or if you found this, you're like, I just got my Playdate. I don't know what to play. Let us know which of these you're picking up because it's a good time. It's a good time. Mm-hmm. But with that out of the way, let's move on to the indies releasing this week from June 20th to June 26th. Jacob, I got to tell you about this, man. I've been posting these on TikTok now, where I do like here's the list of the weekly stuff. I realized that we post from Thursday to Wednesday for the following week, and like I feel like I should get in the habit of going back to doing Monday through Sunday type deal, but it doesn't line up with the podcast. So I feel like I'm gonna have to explain like it doesn't line up with the podcast to do this, or just this week I just do this, then next week I include everything through Monday, then the following week I go, you know what I mean? It's a tough thing.
I mean, because sometimes people on short form won't see your content for days, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So what's dates to them?
Exactly. It's like, it does. You know what? Maybe it doesn't matter. Short form sucks. TikTok. Show my stuff to more people.
Yeah. Aren't you shadow banned or something? I don't know.
I was for a while. I'm like, okay-ish now. But now I'm just in the fact that I'm doing indie content, so it's niche. So like 20 people see it anyway. So
Got it.
That's
Got it.
at.
Understood. We love those 20 people, though. Thank you.
We
for
do.
listening.
We love every single one of you. Even those that are just like, Danny, I haven't seen you in 20 years. It's because you followed me on TikTok and now you don't get to see my stuff anymore, because that's how algorithms should work.
Yeah, shadow banned. Anyway,
it's crazy. But yes, from June 20th to June 26th, we have, listen, June 20th is the new May 9th. This day is crazy. There's so much. We have Ever After Falls coming out on PC, Switch, PlayStation, Xbox on June 20th. Tavern Talk, which I should mention that I've already got my key for, and this game fucks.
Hell yeah.
I love Tavern Talk. It is so much fun.
That's the beer coffee talk, right?
Yes. Yep. Like the D&D coffee talk. You make like potions. People come in like, I have to go fight a horde of wolves. I need some strength. And you have 5 different potions. You pour them into the jar. They want more strength, but they also need some defense. Give it to them. Like, thanks. I'm out. And like, by the way, did you hear about the 3 little pigs down the street? Crazy. And you're like, ooh, gossip. And then you turn that gossip into a quest. So the next person comes in, wants that quest, and they're like, I also need all this stuff. So Tavern Talk's really cool. If you like coffee talk, it's the same thing.
Nice.
After that, we got Dice Folk making its way into Switch on June 20th. We have Asuka coming to PC in early access on the 20th. We have Crab God, which we saw at the recent Wholesome Games Direct on PC, coming on June 20th. That one looks so much fun. I think it was a Next Fest demo. I didn't get around to it, but yeah, Crab God.
I mean, Dice Folk looks sick too. I know it's been on our PC for a little while, but I just finished Dungeons of Aether a little while ago, and so I want to check this game out.
Yeah, there you go. You like play a PC? They can get it on Switch. I don't know if you play.
I think those are demo on Steam, so I'll probably just check that out that way.
Good call. That's how you do it. And then around out June 20th, we have Eric.
You've got it.
Eric is there? Okay, I was like, it's double A.
Arik.
I like Eric. It sounds whiter. Yeah. Eric and the Ruined Kingdom coming on June 20th for PC. Then on June 21st, I know that's Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree Day, but you know what's more important? Times in Galaxy coming to PC, Switch, PlayStation, and Xbox. Man, what an adventure. A little robot writing for the newspaper. Great.
Hell yeah.
Dystopica coming on June 21st for PC. Uncover the Smoking Gun on June 23rd for PC. Southfield on June 24th for PC. Until then, after getting delayed from last month into this month, June 25th on PC and PlayStation. And then to round out the week, we have Cozy Grove Camp Spirit on June 25th for mobile. If you like Cozy Grove, now there's a new one on the phone. You play it on the go.
That was in one of the showcases. I forget. There were so many.
There's so many. I still haven't watched Day of the Devs. I have to go back and watch Day of the Devs. I missed Day of the Devs.
It was good.
I heard. And I've like somehow, I'm sure I've seen some of the trailers not knowing they were in Day of the Devs, but I haven't seen Day of the Devs, so I have to do that. It was that one, women-led games.
Yep.
And then there was Future of Play and then or Future of Games. There's one of them that I missed and one that I saw. I can never remember which one was which. A little showcase. I got to get to those.
There's so many showcases.
Yeah. So many showcases. But those are the games you can play this week on your favorite platforms. Let us know which one you're going to pick up. And now, don't forget, you can write into the show and tell us about your favorite indie game, just like none of you did. But that's okay, because now I can ask Jacob McCourt.
Hi.
You wrote into the show once upon a time. You told
us. I was like, yeah.
Not necessarily that was your favorite indie game. You're like, I want to give a shout out to Virginia.
Yeah, I do.
I don't know if I said on camera. I know I told Topher. You had mentioned that crucial moment. I'm
Flash forward.
I'm like, I think I know what he's referring to, but I haven't played Virginia in like 5 years. So I went and watched somebody's playthrough of Virginia to be like, okay, yes, it was what I thought it was. And I had to think. But what a fun game.
Yeah, man, it's just so sick. That section and the music with Lyndon Holland, it just makes sense. So if you're a fan of X-Files and you... If me just saying it is indie game X-Files gets you going, you should play Virginia. It's 2 hours long on a sale on Steam. You could probably get it for $2. It is worth $10. It is worth $2. Yeah. Please play it. They ended up making a game after that called The Last Stop, I think.
Okay. I haven't played that one yet.
Which was okay. I wasn't as overwhelmed as I was with this title. I think The Last Stop, it was on Game Pass when it came out, and I think it was definitely worth the time, but not one that I'm like screaming on the mountaintops about like I am with Virginia. Virginia's sick. Please play it. Everyone else
Currently on
comes on and
Steam.
like, Stardew Valley, go play that indie game. Like, no, Virginia, for real gamers.
You got beef with Stardew Valley. Holy shit.
Oh my god, I played Stardew Valley. Virginia is for the gamers.
Virginia on sale on Steam right now, 65% off. It's $3.49.
How much is it? It's worth it.
That's so cheap. That's a steal.
That's basically free. You can get a cheeseburger for more than that, you know?
You could buy a Playdate game for that.
Yeah.
But you could play
Virginia's
it on your PC or stuff. Virginia's awesome. Yeah. That was I think I mentioned on that episode of the podcast, I felt bad because like I don't have like my VOD or my footage from when I played through that game. I got the platinum. The only clip I have, which is one of my most popular clips, and it pisses me off on Twitch, is I didn't have my air conditioner on when I was playing. I'm like, it's hot in here. I stood up and I have one of those stand-up air conditioners and I went ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, bum, bam, and I smacked the thing and turned it on, and that's my clip of Virginia. In the background, excellent. You see her like in the mirror, like getting ready for the day. That's my clip of Virginia. I'm like, okay.
It would fit well with Virginia, actually.
It might.
That is the thing that could have happened in Virginia.
Smacking air conditioners.
Yeah.
But so Virginia is like, if so facto, favorite indie game? Facted, lock it in?
Man, that's tough. There's a lot of good indie games. I think it's like the one that I like to evangelize because not everybody does. Everyone's going to come on here, totally. Like I said, and do Stardew and Undertale and whatever. Virginia's the shit.
Virginia is the shit. I do have to play Last Stop. I think it's on Game Pass. I've had it downloaded for the longest time, and it's just so many other things. I'm gonna get to it.
It gets weird in a way that I don't think works, but I'm just excited for what Variable State does next because I think they're talented. I think they're also publishing games now. They announced the other day they're publishing a shooter. I don't quote me, but it may be a hero shooter because everyone is on the hero shooter game at the moment. But I'm just excited for the next thing they develop.
I've never been to their website before. It's very simple.
Yeah.
It's just like their logo and then just like you want Last Stop, you want Virginia. I'm like, oh, I don't know. Oh, Polaris, that's right. I forgot about that one. Yeah. I know that was Variable State. Cool.
Yeah, they're publishing it, I believe.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
they're publishing, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, more indies publishing indies. Let's go.
That's what I'm talking about. Thanks, Donkey. You really started the run for all of us.
Yeah. Everyone's gonna go like, remember when like influencers came in and Blood and everyone saved video games?
Yeah. And then, this is it.
Hey, look, I'm sure they'll publish some cool shit, but like, yeah, they're one of many.
Okay, we'll hope. I don't know if you watched the OTK games like showcase.
I did in part.
Okay, yeah, it's a long ass showcase. It's like 4 hours. I had to like skim through that one, but some banger titles. But I was like, damn, y'all streamline this shit a little bit. But with that, Jacob, we've come to the end of our episode. We're here. We did the damn thing.
So do I replace Topher now? Am I Topher now? Am I Topher 2?
Sure. You want the private Discord or?
Yeah. Let's do that later.
Sure. Okay, hold on. You're biting your lip now. Now I want to confuse.
Wait, which private Discord? My private Discord or yours?
I meant the Playlog one where it's my mod Discord, but it's really just for me and Topher to talk about Playlog. But I mean, if you want to make it spicy,
I'm good. I don't want to kick Topher out. He seems like a very lovely person, makes good content. Yeah, you can find me on the internet at Jacob McCourt on all things. JACOBMCCOURT. I host a couple of shows. I mentioned them, Crossplay Converstaions, which is a topical game show, which goes beyond indie, but it does have a certain indie focus to it. The Left Behind Game Club, which is a video game book club podcast. We did an episode about Virginia, if you want to check that out. And then I'm doing the video game trivia thing. So if you're going to be at PAX West, I might be there. We'll see what happens.
I was like, maybe. We'll see.
Maybe. Who knows?
I don't want to show up.
Or maybe I'll be there 2 times. Maybe I'll be there 0. Who knows?
Could never. Might never go again.
Yep.
PAX East 2024 is my last PAX, he says.
Yep. Thanks for having me, Danny.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining me. This is great. I know we'll definitely have to do more. I mentioned earlier it's a scheduling thing as far as getting Topher. Like we're so early on. Everyone would be like, Topher, I need you to not show up this week because I just feel like Topher might but I thought this was our indie cast. I'm like, it is. But when
what you need to do is you need to give Topher an episode to do by himself.
Honestly,
or with a European guest.
Ooh, honestly, might not be bad.
Yeah. Get some Belgian frites going and, make it happen.
All right, Topher, if you're watching this episode, leave us a comment, find a special guest. I'm not showing up next week.
Yep.
I'm not giving you the layouts. I'm not giving you anything. You're going to have to make it work. You're going to have to upload it to my channel. We'll get that squared away.
Yo, have you ever had Belgian frites, though?
No, I have not.
Dude, next time Topher comes on the show, which is, maybe you guys will be together in 2 weeks, ask him about Belgian frites. They are twice fried French fries that are fried in hot beef oil.
Oh.
Yeah.
Jacob, that sounds terrible for my diabetes.
Maybe terrible for your diabetes. Delicious, though.
You know what?
Maybe worth the blood sugar spike.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. Topher, I'm assuming you're listening, and if you're not, shame on you. You need to bring up the frites, your Belgian frites. I'll have some waffles, too.
They put a bunch of mayo on it, too, at the thing.
Oh. On the frites, right? We're not talking about the waffles? Yes.
No, they go on the frites.
Okay, cool. You know what? On a good day, we'll figure it out. I'll just go on an extra long walk that day. We'll figure it out. We're good. Extra water.
Drink lots of water.
Guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like the video. If you're on Spotify or audio services, leave us that 5-star review. I appreciate all of you who have. And if you have, don't listen to me on this part. Just tell the other nerds to do it. Appreciate you. Mwah. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. And now they're gone. Oh, you're doing the balloons? I gotta leave it in now. I can't take that out. I gotta leave the extra bit.